A temper tantrum is the emotional equivalent of a summer storm, sudden and sometimes fierce, but often over as quick as it starts. I am a mother of two, and I too have experienced the summer storms of temper tantrums. With your child writhing on the floor, screaming, pulling her hair, and sometimes even turning blue just because you gave them the blue sippy cup rather than the red. Sometimes I wonder if my child is out to destroy my credibility as a mother and my parenting skills. Tantrums are a part of a toddler's life. Dr. Jay Hoker of the Mayo Clinic has stated that parents usually only understand about 50% of their children's vocabulary. Strangers understand even less. With your child only being understood about maybe 25% of the time, they get a little frustrated and they act out the only way that they know how, by screaming and pulling their hair, hitting, having temper tantrums. My purpose is to help parents understand, to help you understand how to better cope with the temper tantrums and sometimes even how to prevent them from happening, to be able to listen to your child and know that they're not doing this just to destroy your credibility of being a parent, but to also help you that you may be able to enjoy your parenthood just a little bit better. Sometimes parents blame their children for the way that they act. They think that they just have this rotten little kid who is never going to amount to anything, or even blame their own parenting skills, but this is not the case. We lack the way to be able to cope and be able to understand our children and what they need. Why temper tantrums start? They start around age 15 months. The terrible twos is an understatement. It actually starts before they turn the age of 2. Your child is making a declaration of independence. They want to be independent. They want to be able to dress themselves and be able to make their own decisions, even at such a young age. And it's the way that they communicate. They are only understood maybe 50% of the time, and that's only after you're asking them to repeat what they want, numerous times. It is often said, whatever a toddler lacks in height, they make up in volume, and this is a true statement. When will this end? Some say it may not even end until they leave for college, but there is hope. The tantrums become less frequent around age 3, but some children like to torture their parents for an extra year, and it ends around age 4. But the terrible twos bring us a great blessing because it gives us preparation and helps us prepare for when they become teenagers. Yikes. What we need as parents is we need a consistent management plan. It says we cannot leave the job up to our children to set the tone of a situation and determine what direction it takes, no matter what age they are. Here are some steps that I think that may be able to help you cope and be able to prepare for these tantrums. Number 1, use preventative defenses. This has to do with realistic expectations for your child. Also, create an environment of your house and activities that are kid-friendly and set them up for success. If you know that your child cannot sit through a 30-minute episode of Handy Manny, don't expect to take them to a movie and be able to sit there in their chair quietly with their arms folded and watch every part of the movie. This is an unreal expectation. Usually, we started taking our daughter when she was very little to movies, but we took her to kid-friendly movies, and we knew kind of what to expect and gave her guidance. Number 2, don't back down to avoid a conflict. A showdown in the breakfast aisle, this happens a lot. If you do not want your child to have the Lucky Charms because you know that she will only eat the marshmallows and throw away what is left of the nutritious part of the cereal, then don't back down. Don't give in just because she's screaming. Stick to your guns. And maybe some things that might be able to help you with this is give her 2 choices that are on your terms. And then that way she feels like she has somewhat of a say. Number 3, anticipate conflicts. Certain situations always bring out bad behavior, and this is the reoccurring part of the transitioning. Children crave routine. My child, she loves to watch Mickey Mouse Club, and she will watch it over and over and over until I either A, hide the movie, or the DVD finally breaks. If your child has a problem with transitioning, this is when you take them to the park, and when it's time to go, they are kicking and screaming and not wanting to go. If they have a problem with this, then give them a time frame. Let them know that they have 5 minutes before it's time to go, so you can go home and have dinner. That way they know what to expect. Children crave routine, and they thrive on being able to know what to expect. Number 4, pick your battles. This is planting the seed of discipline for when it really matters. If you're avoiding conflict now, you may pay for it later when they're teenagers and they come home and ask for a tattoo because everybody else is doing it. If you plant the seed of discipline right now, your children will be able to better understand what you're trying to do discipline-wise, and they'll know what to expect when they're older, and they may not even ask for that tattoo. Some battlefields that the toddlers have is toothbrushing. This is non-negotiable. Cavities are expensive, and they don't feel very nice. The second one would be a diaper changing. You can maybe negotiate on this. When your child is wet, if they want to be changed standing up, that's okay. But when they're poopy, no, this is non-negotiable. So be able to pick your battles in that sense too. The third that they have the hardest time with is taking medicine. My child had no problem taking medicine when she was little. She would take Tylenol. She would have more than one dose if I would let her, but that is non-negotiable. Until she had a traumatic experience where we had to take her in to get some teeth worked on, and they had to sedate her, and now she won't take medicine. And it is the worst fight in the world to be able to get her to take medicine, and we have to literally hold her down to give it to her. But it's non-negotiable. We have to give it to her. It's what's best for her. Number 5, tantrums in public. We can deal with tantrums at home, but when it comes to being out in public, it's a whole new playing field. The truth, every parent has been there that is looking at you. And you know what? They're not judging you as a parent. They've all been there. They've all had this experience. Secretly, they are high-fiving themselves that it's not their child making the noise. Some things that most likely cause tantrums or will set you up for situations where tantrums will probably be the end result is A, boredom. When a child is bored, that's the only thing they know how to do, or they know how to push a button that way. Another is if they are tired or hungry. So if you know that your child is prone to these things, plan ahead. Now, let's make a game plan. This will help you be able to possibly even prevent some of the tantrums or know how to deal with them when they do happen. When they happen, one strategy is to walk away. Once you respond to the tantrum, you are validating that inappropriate behavior. So give yourself some space, and also give your toddler some space. What I like to do with my daughter, she knows this as alone time. It gradually went to becoming time out, but we like to use it in a positive way by saying it's alone time. It's alone time for mommy, so she can be able to get her feelings under control and be able to deal better with the situation, and also for her to be able to gain some composure herself. Go into your separate corners. Once it is time, take the gloves off and replace the tears and angers with smiles and hugs, and let your child know that you love them no matter what, but that the behavior is unacceptable. And you might want to do this according to the age of your child. If your child is 2, it's a minute for every year, so they would be in there for about 2 minutes. Mommy may need a little bit longer, but you want to be able to come back and give your child a hug and let her know that you care. The second thing that you can do as a game plan, and sometimes this is the only thing that will work, is stop what you're doing and leave. Now, if you're home alone, this isn't going to work, but usually this is for when you're out and about. If you have to leave without dinner in your grocery cart because your child is just having a meltdown in the grocery store, leave. Go home, order pizza, and try it again tomorrow. This will give a better understanding to your child on how to act in public and what is unacceptable. The third game plan that you can have is an ounce of prevention. This will go a long, long way. A toddler's fuse is very short. My child does best between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. By 9 a.m. she has had her breakfast, she's watched a little bit of cartoons, and she is ready to start the day. At 11 a.m. is when we start having our lunch, and then soon after, pretty much right after, is nap time. And this is when I know my child acts the best, when she is in the best mood and I am setting her up for the best situation possible. Once I go past 11 o'clock, I know that I am more prone for a meltdown because my child is tired and she is ready for bed, or she is getting hungry. So that gives me my small window of opportunity of where I can have the best acting child that I possibly can, and also be able to do my errands and get the things done that I need to. If you understand your child and understand their routine and get them into a routine and understand when they function best, this will help you better. You know, some errands, they can wait until after nap time, or they can wait till the next day. You don't have to do them all at once, and that's, you know, probably better on your child in the long run. So tantrums are a way of life. They're always going to happen. There's no way around it. So I hope some of these main points will be able to help you. Remember, number one, preventative defenses. Set your child up for success. Give them the best situation possible to be able to achieve good behavior. Number two, don't back down to avoid conflict. Stick to your guns. Number three, anticipate conflict. There will always be conflict, but if you're prepared, then you will be able to better handle it, and so will your child. Number four, remember to pick your battles. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just deal with the things that are going to make a difference in the long run. And number five, tantrums in public, and remember your game strategy plans, where number one is walk away. Number two is to stop what you're doing and leave. And number three, an ounce of prevention. If you put these strategies into test and be able to work with your child, you will be so much happier. And just as the summer storms, these too will pass. And it won't last forever, and you'll be able to enjoy your parenthood once again. Thanks for coming out, and I hope that this works out for you.